and we got punked.
I know. I think we look awesome. Guys, seriously, why are we not loving on the Halloween?
I'm not going to say too much because he'll say too much if I say too much. But somebody took too much time in the makeup chair.
Wow.
So we look like the guys that didn't participate.
Now you're no.
I participated.
No, you didn't.
Boogie, what was your costume going to be?
I'm in costume. I'm a broadcaster today.
Oh, bro.
No, first of all, it's not even a broadcaster outfit. You would have a suit and a tie on. You would do the whole nine.
Go broadcast.
Modernized.
Modernized broadcasters, not a
Boogie said he was a broadcaster with a white tee.
Well, half of us.
We look great. Trap anchor.
I think we look. I've never looked better, so I'm happy about it. We do get to talk a lot of basketball. Looking like cheekbones or cheekboning. I love that for me. We got a lot of basketball to talk about. We're not going to start with the Spurs because our producer's a Lakers fan, but we will start with two other great teams, Bucks and Warriors. This was a great one. I kept getting notices about it. Bucks winning without Giannis, 121-10. Ryan Rollins, I mean goodness, career-high 32 points, 8 assists. Miles Turner finishes with 17. Steph had his 27, and Giannis, of course, was out of this one with a knee soreness. So, Bucks over Warriors and no Giannis on the floor, Lou. How impressed was this?
That's a really good win for them, you know, especially with these role players and guys that's playing their position, having Giannis out of the lineup. You know, I said it earlier this week, less is more with this Bucks team right now because there's a clear pecking order. These guys know their role players. They know their roles when they go out on the basketball floor. So when the big dog steps out, that gives you an expanded role of doing things that you've already been accustomed to doing. You know, some of these guys have just been taking the opportunities that they've been given. Cole Anthony had a good night, but you got to shine a light on Ryan Rollins. Career night, throwing in 32. When somebody like that is out and then having 8 different guys score at least 10 points for you, that's a really good team win and impressive. So I think Milwaukee is putting the East on alert. We keep talking about the East being wide open and it can go any way. Listen, if this team is off to this hard start and you don't know which way that the East is going to go, this is good for the Milwaukee Bucks, for real.
Yeah, this is a hell of a win and a hell of a start for the Bucks. And you can't smile at me. And I can't take myself seriously.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
talking
can.
like this, but I don't know if it's like when the Warriors saw that Giannis was out and he was late scratch, if there was that natural letdown. There's that letdown because, like Lou said, the big dog's out. It's going to have to be a collective effort from the Bucks to get this win. But that's exactly what they did. There was 8 players in double figures. Everyone stepped up. There's the unsung hero like Ryan Rollins, who we'll get to, but he had a great game. He's had a great season. This isn't a fluke. This is his 4th game in a row of actually balling. So it's exactly what they have to do. And we talked about this yesterday. It's not necessarily a bad thing that they don't have a second option, right? Because when you're getting 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in double figures, it makes up for that other 20-point score. So this is great. Obviously, they're a better team. They need Giannis to kind of be one of those elite teams in the Eastern Conference. But this was a great experience for this team to have, and these guys that have bigger roles later down the series, in the season, where now their coach has trust in these guys, and it takes games like this.
Couldn't agree more. Obviously, this game is a coach's dream, a franchise player's dream, when you can miss a game and your team can still come out, perform at a high level, and not only beat a team, but beat one of the top teams in the league as of right now. So great team win. This is a plus for this organization moving forward. Obviously, we've had a lot of talks about, if we feel like it should be another star, should they add more talent, whatever the case may be. Well, obviously, I do believe another star is needed to make a late push, but, I was absolutely wrong last night, and I'm okay with that. But with that being said, I do still feel, they'll need a little more down the line, especially closer to the playoffs and when the playoffs do start. We all know how adjustments are made. We know how teams plan for certain players, especially the best player on the team. Once they start icing him out, who is the guy we can depend on a nightly basis? Obviously, Ryan Rollins had a huge night. This is a good thing moving forward. It's going to build confidence. Obviously, he's going to gain more trust in his coach. So maybe this can be the guy moving forward.
And we can argue back and forth about this, but when I look at this team, I look at a Cole Anthony, right?
I love
Cole.
Cole.
That's a guy that can go out and hoop.
Mm-hmm.
He can do his thing.
Great spark.
Absolutely. We know what Bobby Portis brings to the table. Toughness, championship caliber guy. Now we got this Ryan Rollins. We got a young fella coming out and giving you 32s. Like that should be encouraging for guys. All Giannis needs is some help. Yeah. Like, you don't care where the help come from. It don't have to be one guy to give you 25. If you can get 3 guys to give you 12 to 15, that's just equivalent. And I like the style of play that they're playing with. So you gotta give Doc Rivers some credit too. These guys, they putting that ball, they're catching, not wasting dribbles, putting it on the ground, putting a lot of pressure on the rim, kicking it out to three-point shooters, you running them off, they're attacking again, and the ball is moving around, it's moving, and they're a high assist team, so you got to give them credit when they're playing the right way. So do they need star power? I don't think so. I think you just need guys to just buy into what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build. And if you got Giannis still motivated, I think that gives anybody a chance to win when you got Giannis and he wants to play at a high level and his teammates are right there with him on the same page.
And I think Boogie mentioned Kevin Porter. He's not in the lineup yet. He is that other kind of ISO, break you down guy. So he's on the way. Cole Anthony, again, like we just talked about, he gives them that spark. And then everyone else can basically shoot the ball. So when you have Giannis, who gets downhill so much, gets out in transition, gets to the basket, you have to have proper spacing. When you guys got like AJ Green, you got Miles Turner, who they add, who's one of the better pick and pop fives, the team makes sense and the team fits. So I'm not surprised at all by their start. Just have to have consistency from these other guys because you know what you're going to get from Giannis. And every time Giannis on the floor, you have a chance to win.
I do think this is interesting, by the way. Rollins, Green, and Anthony, all three of those guys combined last night for 58 points, and all three of those guys combined make less than $10 million a season. So I think that's like a cool perspective on sort of how the Bucks have done what they've done. I don't believe when we started the season or right before the season started, we were necessarily looking at the Bucks as perhaps actually contenders out in the East. The 4-1 start, did that change anything for you? Are you looking at them differently at all?
I mean, obviously you have to respect what they're doing. So to sit there and say you're not looking at them, that would just be a flat-out lie. In my opinion, they're overachieving. They've overexceeded a lot of people's expectations for this season, and obviously the biggest thing was because of the roster star power. But they're overachieving, and that's okay. This is a good team. They're finding a way to win games. They're finding a way to feature their franchise guy. Guys know their roles. Everything is flowing perfectly for this team right now. But I still stand by what I say. When later on down the season, when we get closer to playoffs, even in that playoff run, I still feel they will need another go-to guy. And it may be there. I don't know if that person is quite there. It could be a KPJ. It could be a Rollins. But as of right now, I'm not sure.
It's also 5 games. Like
sure.
No one thought the Bulls were going to be 4-0. No one thought the Sixers. They have talent, but are they going to be healthy enough to compete? And now those are the only 2 undefeated teams in the Eastern Conference. While the Knicks, who everyone claimed to be one of the better teams, they're 2-2. So I think it'll all level out once the season kind of gets going and gets in the thick of things. But it's a great start, and they can't ask for more if you're them. Hopefully this knee soreness from Giannis isn't too serious because they're obviously going to need him, but it's still a lot of basketball to be playing, and the fact that they are 4-1 with what they have is a great start.
Yeah, I don't know if they're overachieving, but we did have questions. Like coming into the season, we did have questions. We didn't know what the identity of this team would be when Dame Lillard steps out, when you lose Chris Middleton a couple years ago from a championship run. When you lose a lot of that identity around Giannis, you just got questions going into the season. You hear the trade talks and all of that.